Germany, the third largest economy in the world and Europe's biggest, has long been considered the engine that drives Europe. Back in 2020, I described Germany as Europe's supermarket cart. Whatever you put in, it carried. Whatever you needed, it produced. People used to say, work like a German, earn like a German. But in recent years, Germany has faced a series of shocks that slowed its momentum. From global crises to demographic shifts, Europe's powerhouse has been tested in ways few expected. Let's start with history. In 1945, Germany lay in ruins after World War II. Cities were flattened, infrastructure destroyed, millions displaced. The Allies divided the country into 4 zones: US, Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. West Germany, formed from the Western zones, embraced capitalism and received massive US aid under the Marshall Plan. Factories reopened, jobs returned, and by the 1950s, West Germany experienced the Wirtschaftswunder, or economic miracle. Social welfare improved and living standards rose rapidly. East Germany, in contrast, fell under Soviet control. The communist system dictated production targets and controlled the economy. Technology lagged and citizens faced scarcity. While West Germans enjoyed modern consumer goods, East Germans endured rationing, long lines, and political surveillance. Migration from east to west surged until the Berlin Wall was built in 1961 to halt the flow. West Germany's post-war recovery relied heavily on labor migration. Factories needed workers, and Germans alone couldn't supply enough. Enter the Gastarbeiter, or guest workers, from Turkey, Italy, Spain, Greece, and Yugoslavia. They became the backbone of industry, helping Germany maintain high production and robust exports. The 1970s brought a new challenge: the global oil crisis. Energy prices soared, threatening Germany's energy-intensive industries. Yet Germany adapted, investing in efficiency, alternative energy, and industrial innovation. East Germany, bound by rigid central planning, lagged further behind. Fast forward to 1990, the Berlin Wall fell and Germany reunified. East Germany's infrastructure and industries were decades behind. Integrating the East required massive investment: roads, factories, public services, and incentives, costing West Germany billions. Taxes rose, unemployment spiked, and state budgets stretched. Many East German factories collapsed under free market pressures. The reunification bill would exceed 1.5 trillion euros, weighing on Germany for years. Despite the enormous cost, Germany recovered. Structural reforms and strong industrial exports helped West and East integrate economically. By 2017, Germany led Europe in automotive, machinery, and industrial innovation. Brands like Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes symbolized engineering excellence. Exports, especially to China, drove growth, establishing Germany as a global industrial powerhouse. However, cracks were emerging. China increased its own production capacity and technology, reducing imports from Germany. Global trade tensions, particularly between the US and China, added uncertainty. Germany's export-dependent economy, once a stable engine, faced challenges it had never encountered before. Meanwhile, demographic shifts compounded the problem. Germany's population aged, with fewer young workers entering the labor market. Older citizens tend to save rather than spend, slowing domestic consumption. Rising energy prices and inflation created cautious consumers, while policies like the debt brake limited government flexibility. By 2017, Germany had achieved remarkable recovery, but subtle warning signs indicated that its economic dominance could no longer be taken for granted. The stage was set for new challenges that would test Europe's industrial giant in unprecedented ways. After 2017, Germany's economic landscape began to shift dramatically. Global events, domestic policies, and demographic realities converged to slow Europe's powerhouse. The US-China trade wars created uncertainty for export-dependent economies. Germany, relying heavily on machinery, cars, and industrial products, faced shrinking markets abroad. China, once Germany's top export destination, began producing goods faster and cheaper than German competitors, reducing imports from Germany. By 2020, China's share of German exports dropped from roughly 8% to 5% in just 4 years. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic. Factories slowed or halted production due to supply chain disruptions. Shipping delays, labor shortages, and falling demand struck hard. German exports, the lifeblood of the economy, took a hit. At the same time, global competitors, including China, surged ahead, capitalizing on uninterrupted production. The energy crisis hit next. Germany's heavy industry depends on affordable energy, much of it historically sourced from Russian natural gas via pipelines like Nord Stream. When Russia cut supplies in 2022 due to the Ukraine war, energy prices skyrocketed. Factories faced higher costs, some slowed production, and others shut down entirely. Energy-intensive sectors like steel, chemicals, and automotive were particularly affected. Domestically, inflation and rising living costs forced German households to tighten budgets. Consumer spending slowed, further straining the economy. Germany's aging population added pressure. Younger citizens tend to spend and invest while older populations save, reducing economic circulation. Immigration and social tensions also affected politics. Coalition governments struggled to make swift decisions, leaving the public frustrated. Far-right parties gained traction, reflecting dissatisfaction with mainstream politics and economic uncertainty. The AfD, Alternative for Germany, became the third largest party in parliament, illustrating deep political shifts linked to economic anxieties. Germany's industrial giants also faced internal adjustments. Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes invested heavily in electrification, automation, and new technologies. Traditional production models had to adapt to global competition, stricter environmental standards, and shifting consumer preferences. Failure to adapt risked losing market share to agile global competitors, particularly Chinese EV manufacturers. Looking ahead, Germany's economy must navigate a delicate balance. Defense spending is increasing, signaling a focus on geopolitical security alongside economic resilience. Energy diversification, technological innovation, and workforce adaptation are central to maintaining global competitiveness. The question remains, can Germany reinvigorate growth and reclaim momentum, or will structural challenges slow Europe's industrial giant for decades? In summary, Germany's story is one of resilience, adaptation, and ongoing transformation. From the ruins of 1945 to the reunification shock, through export dominance and global challenges, Germany has repeatedly demonstrated its capacity to rise. Today, new pressures test its economic and political systems. Whether it will overcome these challenges remains to be seen. But the lessons from history suggest that Germany's ingenuity and industrial strength may yet write the next chapter in Europe's economic story.